This is your morning in 8 minutes. Crews are still working on that sinkhole on Alcoa Highway. This is right near UT Medical Center if you're headed north. TDOT crews say they were working to stabilize a dip in the road when the sinkhole opened up. It's an area TDOT says they've seen sinkholes before, and they say it won't be finished until tonight. This is going to cause some major backups for you for this morning commute. Let's get to our first alert traffic with Whitney Turner. And Whitney, for those that do have to head that way, are there some other routes they can take?
Yeah, if this is your morning commute, you're going to want to avoid Alcoa Highway. If you're coming up from Blount County into Knox County, just go ahead and get off at Pellissippi Parkway and use I-40 eastbound to get into downtown Knoxville. Once that volume starts to pick up for that morning rush, those backups are going to quickly build on Alcoa Highway northbound. We're also going to see that heavy traffic on John Sevier Highway, Maryville Pike, Chapman Highway. So just go ahead and avoid it by getting off on Pellissippi Parkway. Now, this is a live look at that work right now. You can see they do still have the right northbound lane there blocked off. If you do have to go this way this morning, just make sure you're giving those workers some space on the road and be safe and careful. Now, right now, crews are working to clear a crash on I-40 westbound right under Western Avenue. It did have the 17th Street exit blocked completely. Looks like they've just moved those vehicles out of the way, and that congestion is starting to clear up. But if you're just getting out the door on I-40 westbound, this is your delay moving through downtown Knoxville. It is looking better now that they have reopened those lanes.
Whitney, thanks. Well, right now, two parents are suing after they say a Knoxville police officer used excessive force to arrest their son at Northwest Middle School last year.
And the parents won up to $2 million in damages from the city, Knoxville police, and Officer David Lee. The suit claims Officer Lee used excessive force when he arrested their 8th grade son at school. The lawsuit says the officer thought he smelled marijuana coming from the student's backpack, but they never found any. The city is not commenting on the lawsuit. You can read the full suit and what the parents are accusing the officer of doing on that day in the WVLT News app.
And this morning, we're working to learn the condition of 3 children and a Knox County Sheriff's deputy after a crash on Rutledge Pike. Investigators tell us the children were in a minivan when the driver pulled out in front of the deputy's cruiser. The two crashed. The deputy went to UT Medical Center. The kids were sent to Children's Hospital. Police cited the minivan driver for failing to yield, not having a license, and expired tags. And this morning, Gabriel Tercios is headed to prison for the rest of his life. A
jury found him guilty of stabbing and killing his co-worker at the Sunliner Diner in Pigeon Forge in 2020. He was 18 at the time of the crime. Police say he stabbed 19-year-old Savannah Burford almost 20 times. Before her death, Burford told people that Tercios was stalking her and that she was afraid of him. Authorities say Tercios admitted to planning the murder for days. As for motive, a mental health expert thinks he believed if the two couldn't be together on earth, they could be together in heaven.
A Knoxville man is behind bars this morning facing first-degree murder charges. Venice Foster is accused of shooting and killing Brandon Merle back in January on the 500 block of Fern Street. Foster, police arrested him on Wednesday. His bond is set at $500,000. Right now, the Red Cross is working with those who live in this duplex following a fire in East Knoxville. This happened on Tarleton Avenue. Investigators believe the fire started after someone who was cooking walked away. Everyone's okay. Fire crews say one man was asleep inside one of the units. Thankfully, the smoke detector woke him up in time.
And continuing coverage this morning.
Knoxville's next police chief will be sworn in on June 13th.
Paul Noel, coming from a top-ranking position in the New Orleans Police Department. Mayor India Kincannon says Noel stands out from dozens of applicants, including some current KPD officers vying for the job. They introduced him yesterday, saying he's ready to tackle a number of issues in the department right now, including staffing.
Not only recruit more people of color and more females, but find ways to train and mentor everyone through the organization so the next police chief comes from inside this organization.
39 people applied for the position. He's been recognized nationally as an advocate for police reform. In the meantime, KPD Deputy Chief Mark Fortner will serve as the acting chief until Noel is sworn into office in June.
And around the state, Oscar Smith's attorneys are asking Tennessee to temporarily stop all executions and review how they're carried out. This after Smith's execution was halted last week. An undisclosed problem was found in the lethal injection procedure just hours before he was set to be put to death. The governor says they will release more information about what went wrong on Monday. Well, menthol cigarettes are about to become a thing of the past. The FDA unveiling a rule to ban them from being used in production of cigarettes. Officials say this will help protect public health. The agency says nearly 19 million people smoke menthols, and taking it out of cigarettes could result in saving 650,000 premature deaths over the next 40 years. There are reports this morning that Netflix is laying off employees just days after the streaming service announced it lost about 200,000 subscribers and expects to lose 2 million more. A number of marketing-related jobs were reportedly eliminated. The company did not comment on exactly how many people lost their jobs.
And a Knoxville native is headed to the NFL. A big congratulations this morning to Farragut graduate Cole Strange. The offensive lineman was drafted last night by the New England Patriots with the 29th overall pick in the first round. Strange played under Eddie Courtney at Farragut High School before heading to Chattanooga to play for the Mocs. Meanwhile, as the Tennessee Titans, they're taking a wide receiver for their first round pick. Arkansas receiver Treylon Burks headed to Nashville.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Heather Haley.
5 minutes to 7 now on your Friday morning, watching those clouds stream in. Again, the humidity has to go up before we start finding raindrops down here at the surface. So for now, it's just clouds, mild temperatures, 55 in Oneida to Morristown, 51 in Knoxville to 48 in Athens. Sharing a lot of that cloud cover throughout the day. Occasionally, it'll be more partly cloudy. So just keep that in mind to just block out the sun. That means it doesn't feel as hot as yesterday, even though the temperatures are pretty much the same. We've got a warm southwesterly flow, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy at times. Stray shower possible, especially this afternoon in the higher elevations. This evening, some spotty showers as temperatures go down, and naturally the humidity goes up at that time. But really, we don't find that humidity rising for our day as a whole until we go into the weekend. Steps up a bit Saturday afternoon to evening. We could have a couple of downpours and storms bubble up, and then we have that batch of rain and storms coming in on a sticky Sunday. So when you see this coverage of rain and storms, I want to stress that unfortunately we're not all getting the rain. Some can get a few hundredths, some a good downpour. Sunday, for example, we've got that 60% coverage. So when it starts coming in and is breaking up just a bit, you can see where we get these streaks of a few hundredths to a quarter of an inch, isolated half an inch. So that's what we're monitoring. It's not just the timing, but that impact. Because if you're like me, you got a garden, got the lawn, right? It's going to be a pretty sticky, steamy, warm stretch. So this up and down rain chances can impact your plans, but we'll continue to keep you updated on that latest timing and impact.
How about you what if I give you some more money and you plant more things and then just bring them to me?
You want all my vegetables?
No, I'm just going to give you some extra ones. Just a few seeds here and there. We're headed to WBXX. Have a good day.